Peace. Islam. Chickamauga, Alamassi Hill. Coming at y'all live. Deep down. Alamassi Arabian country. Coming at y'all live from Lake Tchukolako. Lake Tchukolako was actually supposed to be at one point it was a artificial residential lake. What they did was they dammed up either a creek or a river, and they created an artificial lake to be a residential community. But some things don't go right, and at some point a few years back the dam was breached and the lake actually drained, so now it's like just a swamp. But it's pretty cool. It's interesting they chose the name Tchukolako because if you do the research on this location, so-called Tchukolako, this was an old Muslim Mekasuki or creek gathering place. You know what I'm saying? Very, a very well-known, well-documented place where, the people would kind of meet, gather. The water around here was considered to have a healing property, So, again, a lot of these people, a lot of the settler demonstration, they know what's up. They know to keep a lot of the names intact, to keep this frequency the same. So we have Tchukolako, but just want to tap in real quick to understand, just put some things out there as far as the designation of being a real Mississippian and taking on the path of being a real striver. Now, one phrase that kind of sums it all up as far as when you dedicate your life to striving to preserve the covenants, striving to preserve what Allah has given us. One phrase that sums it all up is it's in you, not on you. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm gonna say it again. It's in you, not on you. This real game is in you, it's not on you. This is not something you can be taught. This is not something that you can take a class, you know what I mean? You can get a degree on. This is something you're born with. And what you're born with, what's in you, has to be the ability to live your life and dedicate your life to a cause that is greater than yourself. It's greater than your pleasures, greater than your individual desires. It's greater than materialism and all the materialistic trinkets and everything that this reality can offer to you. All of the things that can satisfy your fleeting nature, and your fleeting desires. You know what I mean? Because again, all of these things, all of these temptations and temporary fixes, they're all fleeting, meaning it's temporary. It don't last long, and then it creates kind of an addiction that you have to continue to satisfy. So what that can cause you to do is, it can cause you to be willing to give up certain pieces of yourself, pieces of your birthright, or sell certain aspects of yourself out in order to continue to satisfy these needs and wants that are all fleeting. They're not real. You know what I mean? But it's all, it's an old trick that, the satanic entities will use on you. But when you take on the path of a real striver in the old Mississippian way, you understand that your bloodline is tied to old covenants. And you understand that with these covenants, these things that were gifted to you, comes great responsibility to protect and preserve these things. And understand, when you incarnate and you have that internal understanding, you understand that pretty much your entire life has to be dedicated to that. Your entire incarnation, which means you don't come down here to play. You know what I'm saying? You don't come down here to BS around. You don't come down here to have a good time necessarily. I mean, you can enjoy yourself. You can, as far as being constructive and being about the cause, you can find a lot of enjoyment in that. You'd be surprised. But that's not the goal of anything. You actually get up every day and you have a mission and a cause. And that's why a lot of people who have been kind of reduced to colors in this society, with the black, whatever, that's why they're looked at crazy. And they're just looked at as in the way, because the way you present yourself and the way you carry yourself, you can tell you have no mission. So you're just there to be utilized. You know what I'm saying? You're a tool. When you don't have your own internal mission, dealing with your own creator, with your own frequency, You're just there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, you're just, and everybody who does come from a national understanding or spiritual understanding, it still has it, who still is able to maintain that in the current times, can look at you and see that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a mission. You don't have a purpose. You don't have your own internal purpose that deals with your internal makeup and your internal DNA and your God. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that. And just the way you walk around, the way you present yourself, you know what I mean? That's just so evident to everybody. But when you really take your shahada, what they call it in the so-called Muslim world, but it's really, you know, shahada, you know what I mean? You dedicate yourself to Allah's path. You dedicate yourself to a cause higher than yourself and maintaining these covenants. So you have to do whatever it takes. That's the first thing you wake up in the morning worrying about. You don't wake up in the morning worrying about the score, you know, you know what I'm saying, what team done beat who, or just, you know what I mean, or what type of entertainment, or your relationships, you know what I'm saying, gender wars and all that. Man, that don't mean jack, man. Because at the end of the day, a lot of y'all, this is huge these days, man. All of this dating, coaching, crazy stuff, and all of that. Man, let me tell you something. If you and this is to the brothers out there, this is within the sound of my voice. Trust and believe, brothers. You ain't gotta listen to nan dating coach. You ain't gotta learn about so-called female nature and all that. Learn how to keep your woman in a submissive position. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, that stuff is all innate. But let me trust me, my brothers. If you get up every day and you have a mission, and your mission is first, dealing with your Creator, and you are very militant about that mission every day. Let me tell you something. 85 to 90% of any women that you run into are going to submit based on that alone, because they're gonna know, they're gonna feel your energy, and they're gonna feel that godlike frequency on you. So they're gonna follow your lead. You ain't got, you know what I'm saying? You don't need no dating coach to show you that. You know what I'm saying? Just get in line, take your shahada, and be about the cause. Be about the cause, the cause of preserving the promised land. Every day. Everything else, as far as everything else is second nature after that. And you can read all scriptures and see that. If you about a higher cause than yourself every day, and that's your main focus, man, everything else bows to your will after that, man. You know what I'm saying? You were given dominion over the plane. So act like it. Be about the mission. The divine mission. You know what I mean? So it's just like, again, dedicating yourself to the cause. A cause higher than yourself. That's got to be in you, not on you. That's nothing you can be taught. It can only be an awakening. A diamond in the rough can only be molded into a diamond. You can't learn that. A lot of individuals come from bloodlines that have corrupted their genetics and corrupted the godlike nature. So they have to keep coming through these incarnations and just continuously get it wrong, and they just have to keep coming. They downgrade in a weaker and weaker bodies, weaker and weaker intestinal fortitude and everything. The nations deteriorate into nothing. You know what I'm saying? They destroy themselves. You know what I mean? But if you don't participate in that nonsense, you stay and you come down, stay in remembrance, stay about the mission. Don't get too caught up in this reality. You know what I'm saying? Every time you incarnate, it'll still be in you. You know what I'm saying? No matter what plane of existence you find yourself in, it'll still be in you, and you'll know it. Trust me. When I walk past another brother, it ain't got nothing to do with color, any of that stuff. When I walk past another brother, I already know it's in you. I already know whether it's in you or not, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just say what's up. You already know. So, you know what I'm saying? So, again, the Muslim demonstration, all through a lot of history, has always been the military. We always show up when things need to be enforced. We the law. You know what I'm saying? Because we are because we deal with natural law. We deal with Allah's law. You know what I'm saying? And you dedicate your life. They may call it taking a vow of poverty or something like that, but understand, you take a vow of poverty, that doesn't mean you're going to live impoverished or be poor or lack resources or anything like that. It just means that material wealth, material resources are not what drives your day. What drives your day is staying in remembrance, staying about the mission, and staying about preservation of the covenants, and staying about the preservation of the nation, and staying about preservation of your of your progeny, and the people and your descendants, and people who will come in after you, and leaving them something to inherit. Staying descendable. You know what I'm saying? Not adopting foreign designations and being non-descendable. You know what I mean? But that's in you, not on you. So I walk around all the time and I see a lot of folks, I see a lot of people, and a lot of times I see it's not in you, because you can just feel it. You know what I mean? It's not in a lot of these people. But for the select few, it's time. We opening it back up for you to be yourself again, for you to be a Mississippian, a real Mississippian. And trust me, retaking your holy terrain, the path is already laid out through divine mandate. You know what I'm saying? So if it's in you, not on you, come with us, take your shahada, and let's get back to it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, tap it in live from Tchukolako, and we'll holler back at y'all shortly. That's peace.